Okay. You have a gun.
And?
Where did you get it? I see it's a front loader. Do you have another gun somewhere? I can't quite tell what kind of gun it is. I know you don't like old things, but do you sell antique rifles on the side? There's other evidence I want to ask you about. Where did you get the gun?
The gun store.
What gun store?
Trigger Happy Jacks.
Really, Trigger? That doesn't sound like the name of a real store.
What did you think? That I'm going to squeal on my gun supplier? Sorry, I'm not that kind of gal.
I see it's a front loader. Do you have another gun somewhere?
Sure don't.
The breech loader?
No.
This is such a wipeout.
I can't quite tell what kind of gun is it.
A knocked away 80 front loader. Two-barreled. Not really what you were looking for, I'm guessing.
That isn't it.
I know you don't like old things, but do you sell antique rifles on the side?
Never really got into weapons trafficking. Especially not old weapons. They break too often, and you don't want unhappy customers among gun collectors.
There's other evidence I want to ask about.
Yeah, evidence.
Do you like to hang out on rooftops?
Who doesn't? Oh, you probably mean Claudia's rooftop. Sure, I've hung out there. She's got this great antenna.
Is that the only reason you hung out on the roof?
The view's pretty bomb, too. But you might say the antenna was the main attraction there, yeah. Along with Claudia.
What's so great about her antenna?
It's very powerful. I used it to tune into RCM frequencies. That's how I knew to be prepared for your arrival.
That makes sense. Alright, you sure you didn't shoot the Merc?
Yes, I'm sure. And anyway, as I said before, the shot had to have come from afar.
Did you leave any flowers for Classy on the roof?
No. Gifts of flowers and candy aren't really my style.
They weren't just flowers, they were symbols of the revolution, pushed through the pain. Classy was mourning. Maybe you didn't leave Maybell. Classy was mourning.
I never did understand why, when someone dies, a house's worth of flowers has to die too.
Just push through the pain.
So now I'm leaving revolutionary symbols around? Come on.
Alright, you didn't leave the Maybells.
No, I did not.
You're running drugs from the Union. I've been through your lorry.
So, Heart of Gold Tommy fucked me over too. Never trust a musician.
No, he didn't. I found my own way in. Lie. Yeah, I made him talk. I feel like no matter what I say, Ruby will be able to tell that I was lying, so I'll just say, yeah, I made him talk. But it's what, that's what I literally said before. I'm a human can opener.
Yeah, that figures. What now? You're going to arrest me for drug trafficking?
Yeah, probably.
She's more upset than she lets on.
You're a criminal. I can't trust anything you say. And you had a financial incentive to kill the mercenary. I can't trust anything you say.
That's your prerogative.
True. You had a financial incentive.
Man, it's to get away from all that murderous shit that I left Jamrock, my previous employer, for the Union.
You good?
The lieutenant is unable to articulate his question.
She deliberately avoided naming the mob she worked for. You might be able to find this out later.
I got lucky being a dispatcher. Never had to do any of the really dirty work myself. This gun has only been used for self-defense against serious scum.
He turns the knob down just a millimeter.
There. It's going to be easier to reach the machine now.
But you're threatening us with it? I wish I could use my gun right now. Well, I can't even if I had it out because I don't have any bullets. So, you're threatening us.
Based on what I've heard about you, you are serious scum.
What have you heard about me? He responds, holding your gaze.
There's a sinister note in her voice. Even with the gun and the compressor, she's afraid of you.
Alright, let's take a step back.
Yeah? Where?
More questions before doing anything.
So pain threshold is now very high chance of passing it. We nudged it during drugs talk. Who killed the mercenary if it wasn't you?
How should I know? As I keep saying, he already had a bullet in his head when I got to him, and there hasn't been any useful gossip over the radio.
Those rings around her eyes, her tired voice. She's been staying up late, listening in on the conversations crisscrossing Martinez.
Police radio? You've been following the case?
Who hasn't? You know, I can still see him there, in Claus's room, lying on his side.
Can't shake the vision.
He was still warm. but the bluish light coming through the broken window made him look as though he'd been dead for a good long while.
Okay. What happened Sunday night? Tell me your version.
She eyes you warily, as though gauging your sincerity.
It's okay. We just want to...
He struggles to finish the sentence.
All right, don't kill yourself over it. I was shooting the shit with Hardy and the boys over a few beers, like always. Then Klasha comes in, all pale and shuddering. She sits down with a drink, trying to steady her nerves. So I grab a seat next to her.
Wait, did she also seem high to you? Classe said you knew something was wrong immediately, and what did she say? Well, Classe saying that Ruby knew something was wrong is not an indicator of, well, her being the actual, murderer. That's just her noticing, oh, Classe looks a bit off, something is definitely wrong. But did she also seem high?
Oh yeah, super. But I didn't think too much of it at first. I'd seen her party hard before.
This woman has seen people OD. Glacia wasn't quite there yet. So why worry?
Classe said you knew something was wrong immediately.
No, I really didn't. She's not that easy to read. I just assumed she'd done too much blow. It wouldn't be a first for her. But no such luck. She was in some deep shit. She asked me to come upstairs. The merc she'd been going with was lying on the bedroom floor, dead. I knew she couldn't get the authorities involved, so yeah.
You made it look like he'd been hanged.
Classe said you seemed to have a plan prepared when you got there. Classe found it weird you came up with a plan so quickly. But these are both essentially the same thing. So why is there a dialogue choice between them? You seem to have a plan prepared when you got there. It was weird you came up with a plan so quickly. I feel like it's more natural to go with, she thought it was weird you came up with a plan so quickly.
What? No. Faking a lynching was her idea.
Ah.
She looks shaken. She wasn't surprised to be ratted out, but framed.
Her idea?
Yeah, in cold blood. It really surprised me how quickly she was able to get a hold of herself once we got up there. It was like she was another person. The party girl was gone. She asked me to help her drag him into the shower so she could wind the shower head around his neck to fake lividity. Then she dressed him while I went to get the Hardy boys.
Okay.
She lied to you about that, too.
Showerhead? Resourceful. That's bad that she'd be so calm. I don't believe you. Showerhead is kind of resourceful.
Yeah. I wasn't sure whether to admire her or be disturbed.
You think she killed Lely herself?
As I keep telling you cops, we didn't hear anything downstairs. No gunshot, nothing.
But even if this is true, weren't you worried the lynching might lead to...
War? The thought crossed my mind. But the mercenary's death was going to have repercussions either way. Although the way things are going...
She doesn't want to talk about this, but not because she has something to hide. She doesn't want the guilt.
Alright, well, drama is telling us that Ruby is innocent, essentially. And drama is the way that we know that she's lying. We also know that Volition told us that our thoughts couldn't be trusted when it came to Classier. So, okay, this is a twist that we weren't expecting. And this is making the compressor attack be, more in self-defense rather than with murderous intent.
Fuck it. I'm not responsible for these people after what they did to me.
If you didn't kill him, why hide?
I saw you roll into town. I wasn't about to stick around for questioning by a goddamn La Puta Madre agent.
So this is what she was scared to tell Titus. This cop. That strange, distant fear is getting close now. It's a fear of yourself.
What do you mean, La Puta Madre agent?
Yes, you. Everyone says you're his peon, his human can opener.
Oh. La Puta Madre is the person I work for.
Through the sudden sharp pain in your head, himself.
Alright. I've only got 1 point of health, so I'm gonna heal a couple back now.
Fucking hell. And why me? You hear through the white noise. It's especially bad suddenly. Felt like a vein exploded.
Who's everyone? How do you know this? Bullshit, you're trying to throw me off. No one says that. How do you know this?
Everyone in Jamrock. The cops, the criminals. Why do you think I'm holed up in here with a goddamn death ray waiting for you?
If she knows that about you, she must know your real name too.
That's a good point, actually. If she knows this, then yeah, she should know more about me. Tell me what's my name. If you know that about me, you must know my name. Fuck yeah, I'm a La Puta Madre agent, you better let me go. I'm no one's agent, I don't even know who La Puta Madre is. So I feel like I'd go with number 3, because I don't even know who La Puta Madre is. But yes, she should know my name.
Harry Dubois.
Oh.
One corrupt motherfucker with the disco pants and a funny tie. Agent to La Puta Madre.
I mean, she's right. I am corrupt because I was going to take the money from the nightclub ravers for their drug business. And I've taken the bribe from Evra as well. So, yeah. But we don't know who La Puta Madre actually is.
So she knows your name. That doesn't mean you're on the tape. Criminals make up bogeyman stories about cops all the time. All of this just means that you're effective. Criminals know you and are scared of you.
I kind of wish that volition check was a drama check.
I don't know. Sounds pretty convincing to me.
So I'm a La Puta Madre agent, you better let me go. I don't even know who La Puta Madre is. So again, this is accurate because I've lost my memory, so I don't actually know who La Puta Madre is.
Right. Sure. You don't know.
I'm sure I'm supposed to know, but I lost my memory recently. Could you tell me about it? Let's talk about something else. I did lose my memory.
Yeah, sure.
She doesn't believe you.
Of course.
I'm sure La Puta Madre himself will explain it all to you soon enough.
What did you do to this Madre anyway?
You've been to my lorry. You think the biggest player in Jamrock appreciates competition? And now I have Harry Can Opener in my lair. Fucking Titus.
She's not going to change her mind that easily. She still perceives you as a threat. Wait, one thing, possibly small, but she said you rolled into town. Was that you singular or plural? She might know something.
You? Yeah, that's a good point. Okay. When I came into town, was there anyone with me? You know about the bunker next door. Okay. Was there anyone with me?
Yeah, you had your death squad with you. What happened to them anyway?
I don't know what happened to them. Who was in the squad? So I don't know what happened to them, but who was in the squad is more important.
Well, it wasn't this scrawny dude. You had 2 guys and a lady. The guys looked pretty buff. Lady wasn't bad either.
He's talking about the mercenaries, because that is the description of the 3 mercenaries that arrived. Lely, the strikebreaker, and the lady who we haven't seen. So, okay. What else can you tell me?
One of the guys seemed chipper, a blonde. The other had a brooding something or other about him. And the woman was the only one in uniform. All were carrying.
So, a blonde chipper man, a brooding something or other, the woman was the only one in uniform. Okay, so Vikma has black hair. He could be the brooding one. Chipper blonde. Chester's got red hair. Mac Torson's bald. Got leads the doctor. Jules Pidier is the operator. I don't think there's any other police officers we've seen. There is a woman next to Vikma, but I forget what her name actually. All of them were carrying. Okay.
That sound about right?
Maybe?
No idea who these people are, literally.
Yeah, that's right. I was just testing you. They're right outside with guns. That's a bluff that she's not going to believe. No, that doesn't ring any bells. Yeah, ring any bells.
Well, this has been a great talk, really. But I think I'm going to hit the road now.
She means it. You better make your move soon.
Alright, well, if she's going to make her move now, I can't ask about the bunker next door. So we just have to go and destroy the machine. Surely she could just stop me from doing this, right? Like, she's just standing there.
You did it. The compressor lies broken on its side. It's quiet in your head again. It still hurts like hell, but...
You're under arrest. See them fireworks, Kim. Glance back. Whisper over your shoulder, are you okay, Kim? I feel it's important to know if Kim's okay.
All good, officer. Be careful.
She looks at the machine, assessing the damage. Her hand trembles.
Oh, fuck it.
She puts the barrel of the gun in her mouth. What are you doing? Rhetoric challenging 12, convinced her to put the gun down, but I said that Tommy betrayed her. So, -1. Go ahead then, let her do it. Okay. So this is an important one to talk her down from. So, we're gonna go ahead and put a point into rhetoric now. Accept. 92%. Okay. Let's do this. Convince her to put the gun down.
She's truly desperate. She thinks she has no other options. You need to give her options.
What option?
You know.
Maybe I can still talk her out of it. Please, put your hands up, just walk away. I wish I could just let you go, but I have to follow protocol. Okay, so these two are talking to Ruby. Maybe I can still talk her out of it. This is a question back to rhetoric, so this shouldn't make a change or a decision either way, hopefully.
This is how you talk her out of it. It's the only scenario in which she lives.
Okay. Please, just walk away.
She stares at you, frozen, the gun still in her mouth, eyes filled with dark intensity. Then something shifts in her. Her neck and shoulders relax, and her grip on the gun loosens.
You don't have to do this, you're not cornered, I'm letting you go. Just fucking go, okay, before I change my mind. Right, I feel like, again, it's better to be reassuring. Because we threatened Class A with arresting her, but ultimately I was like, no, it's better to let them go, so I'm letting you go.
Day of miracles. I'll take it.
She pulls the gun out of her mouth, eyes still fixed on you, then she turns her gaze to the tunnel behind you.
She runs past you, then past the lieutenant, and disappears into the darkness of the tunnel.
Good call.
The lieutenant is still unsteady on his feet. Are you sure? I did my best. Thanks. Rub your temple. Okay. Well, I did. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I would have done the same had I not been incapacitated.
What if we just let the murderer go? I think she didn't do it. I think she did it, but I didn't want her to die. Okay. So the thing is that we were expecting to come to this with Ruby being the main suspect because they've been on the run, they've not been around to talk to. It's been an entire week, and she was, you know, hitting us with a death ray, which again, like I said, that's not what innocent people do. But that could just be because she is actually a criminal for drug trafficking. It seems very much so that she did not want to be guilted. Like, she didn't want the guilt of the murder on her because it didn't actually happen. And there are still things we have not properly explained. As I said before, there were 3 mercenaries. We know about 2. We still haven't actually found or met the 3rd one. And then we've got this revelation here where apparently I am an agent of La Puta Madre and I came up with a death squad. And those descriptions didn't match up with anyone that I'm aware of. So I'm going to say I think she didn't do it.
Her tent. We should check it out.
He points to the back of the cabin. Alright, well, let's go ahead and make a save. So the last save I have is just before, well, it's the save I had at the end of last session, which is just after doing the Communist Party organization stuff. And yeah, so this is the first chance we've had to really cement our progress. And yeah, that is very much a point of no return if that happens automatically as soon as you walk through. Okay, so there's nothing around here. We can't investigate the death ray anymore. Nothing to talk to with Kim specifically. Let's have a look at this. Dark water trails into the distance. There is no way out. Healing item gain. Druamine. Cooking utensils. She has prepared herself porridge with bananas. 8 real in the fuel canister and her tent.
The plain red tent stands by dispassionately. It was pitched by practiced hands. She's used to camping out.
Inside.
The tent looks old, but well maintained. In the darkness of the tent, a rolled up sleeping bag, cooking utensils, some books, and a kerosene lamp.
Yeah, because the thing is at a minimum, she would have had to have been here for 3 days because the water lock wasn't fixed until Wednesday.
It reeks of cigarettes.
Shine your flashlight on the books.
Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one cover. On another, a ghost airship. You also see a collection of radio enthusiast magazines.
See anything?
Lieutenant peeks over your shoulder. Sift through the magazine.
Rager Monthly, Journal of Materials Science. More Technological Digest. One of the magazines doesn't have images on the cover. It's not a magazine. It's a leather notebook.
A notebook? Take it.
You pocket the worn brown leather journal.
Got his journal.
We should read this immediately, like right now.
Okay, so interact with Ruby's journal. A well-loved journal with a brown leather cover and the brand name Schneller embossed on the back. It seems to have served as a loyal friend to a lonely traveler.
A thick journal. The cover is worn like someone used to carry it around in their back pocket.
Examine the cover.
It's made of full-grain leather. The lower left corner of the back cover sports an embossed brand name, Schneller. Schneller is a stationery brand from Gottwald, beloved among architects and engineers. She's got good taste and must have taken whatever she recorded here seriously.
Unwind the strap.
The journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been filled.
Study the handwriting.
The large cursive of someone who writes quickly and confidently. Perhaps too confidently. Many phrases and even paragraphs have been crossed out, with tiny corrections scrawled above and in the margins.
Okay, so this is probably something to do with the radio frequency. Flip through the pages.
It's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections, all dated.
It's good she left in a hurry. We could learn a lot from this.
Alright, we've got a lot of questions. What kind of logistics were the diagrams of? Anything personal? How far back did the entries go? What did she write the day Lely died? Anything about La Puta Madre? What's the most recent entry? Look at the cover again. Okay. What kind of logistics?
Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in code. Looks like contact information, quantities, directions.
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station who's good with codes. I can give this to her after we finish this.
What are the diagrams of?
Esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor, sketches, calculations of distance and density. You make out a familiar spiral shape.
Anything personal?
Short, wry observations of people and places. Probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be attempts to sort through some difficult decisions. There are a few passages with many questions in them. The way some of those question marks trail off into ellipsis, she was going through a tough time.
How far back did the entries go?
The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself as useful as I can while looking for a way out. Remember, no one is indispensable.
What did she write the day Lely died?
Nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though, well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this. Loyal to a fault. But that's another matter entirely.
The thing with a diary entry is I find it very strange that some people would write in it the way they would speak in it. So that's bound to bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this, loyal to a fault. Then accept, and then it trails off. So surely, if you were going to write accept, you would finish off the thought by writing the sentence down. But because this is a game, I don't think they can do that. It's accept, leave it open to interpretation, and then don't answer the question, actually.
She is referring to betraying her previous employer. Does this suggest she did it in self-defense?
Anything about La Puta Madre?
That name isn't mentioned as far as you can tell. Small wonder. Would you talk about La Puta Madre in your journal? You do see an M though. La Puta Madre. M is mentioned on March 9th and March 15th.
Read the entry from March 9th first.
Great. M's peon is coming to town, no doubt to investigate the lynching, but also, I feel it in my gut, to finally put a bullet in my head while I'm napping in my lorry or on a smoke break. Well, I won't stick around just to twist my own neck by constantly looking over my shoulder. Then again, isn't that what I've been doing ever since I got the call? The call? Did M call her personally? Why?
Read the entry from March 12th.
Been holed up here for 3 days now. I'm used to being alone and all, but I don't know when I'll be able to leave, or if I'll be ratted out. They will rat me out, of course. I've made it a point to believe in the best in people, the boys, for example. But experience tells me, did M feel truly betrayed by me? I was feeling threatened. He'd have to know if he threatened people, they'd take measures to protect themselves. Even I know that. Economic measures first of all. Gotta make a living, right? I can still hear his voice in the receiver. Taste the plastic. The entry ends abruptly.
Okay. Let's look at the cover again.
The thick journal, bound in brown leather, is full of candor and diagrams.
Look through the pages. What's the most recent entry?
The most recent entry is from today. It reads, even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run. Not really my idea of the open road. Man, I was really looking forward to winning.
Yeah, that is literally what I asked. What was her end goal with the death ray? What's the next move? Staging lynching is a crime. Task complete, look for Ruby on the coast. We got 70 XP, so we have another level. And I was kind of worried that I wouldn't actually level up anymore. Alright, continue.
It looks like she might have been framed.
The lieutenant taps on the page. If she didn't do it, then maybe it's good that we didn't catch her.
I wouldn't go so far as to say that. We have other reasons to arrest her.
Oh yeah, I know. He frowns.
Besides, I'm not sure her life as a fugitive is going to be much better than we does. Especially if she has problems with the Madre.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same problem with the Class 8 is we can arrest them and we can try and put them into protective custody. But that isn't actually a way to solve it. And because she is a criminal, she is just going to be on the run. But I feel like she would probably rather take her chances herself than with the police. Kim, am I really a La Puta Madre agent?
No, I don't think you are. Ask someone in your precinct if you want to be sure.
He looks you straight in the eye for a moment. So, new task. Are you La Puta Madre's peon? Who is La Puta Madre?
The head of a major Jamrock gang, specializing in drug production and trafficking. A very bad person.
He's not 100% sure you're not indebted to this very, very bad person.
Well, I wouldn't even remember either way. Who do you think killed the Merc?
Classio was the one who pointed the finger at Ruby. Perhaps she was trying to steer us away from herself, or...
He stops to think. Seems plausible. I don't know. No one heard the shot. That's the key thing, is if the gunshot was on the top floor of the hotel, you would expect it to be audible, even with loud karaoke going on downstairs. Like, a gunshot is one of those things that rings out. It, causes people to stop and actually pay attention. It's one of those, like, definitive noises that people can hear through other things. No one heard the shot.
Maybe she had an accomplice. Either way, we need to keep an eye on her.
Oh, I'm totally expecting Classy to be gone now.
One thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling in rags. Questions to ask. We should get to it.
New task, return to the Whirling in Rags.